All right, let me see if the volume's up. Let me see. Can you hear me, Fox?
I can.
Okay, cool. Before I start talking to Fox, just to let you guys know that I am not going to be concentrating on the chat and going ahead and asking questions. That will be the end of this interview. And after that, we can just ask away with questions and we'll be freely to talk about this. Well, hey Fox, man, I'm very happy to see you, man. I'm glad that you had a short notice, but you're here, and I'm very happy to have you here, man.
Likewise, I appreciate the invite, man.
Oh, dude, not a
Very
problem, man.
cool. You're very unexpected. Very unexpected.
Yeah, I pulled the trigger a couple of times. I went like, "Oh, this is a nice guy I want to talk to," because
Appreciate it.
I've seen you in other live streams, and I went like, you know what, this is the kind of guy I really want to have in my live streams also and talk about fragrances because on my last live chat, um, Eva was a very nice guest on
Mhm.
my interview, and I learned so much about niche fragrances. And I just wanted to have another hit on the person about designer fragrances, you know,
Yeah.
and learn a lot about designer fragrances that I have not explored in my time here in the fragrance community. So if I think a lot of people don't know who you are, tell something about yourself and about the fragrance, your fragrance journey and all that stuff.
Well, it's ever since I'm a kid, always have been into fragrances. Like my father and even my mom has always said, like I always had this kind of obsession when we were at the mall to run up to like fragrance counters. But my most vivid memory, I think, that really got me into it, which is the strongest scent memory, is my grandfather like wore the hell out of Fahrenheit. So it's such a, I mean, if you've had your nose on, it's such a, you know, strong fragrance, and it makes such a statement with that kind of petrol vibe that, yeah, it's all like, I think that's really what inspired my journey. Is I'm like, wow, what's that smell? And then it's like it kind of wanted to smell everything after that. And it's just, I've gotten into just as I've been a kid. I mean, I was like in middle school with like 10 bottles of cologne. I mean, it was like Jordan cologne and Nautica and all that stuff as a little kid, but I was always rocking. I was rocking Safari by eighth grade by Ralph
Nice.
Lauren. Yeah, so yeah, it's just always been part of my thing. And then I think as COVID hit, and I think it's happened with a lot of people, is I wasn't even aware that there was like a community like this,
Hmm.
and I stumbled upon Ross from TLTG Reviews, who I kind of connected with and started watching. And when I mean connected, like just like, kind of related to his style and the type of person he is and how he presented fragrance and his journey. So yeah, I started watching him, and then it just like everything else falls into place. Like you start kind of, once you pick one fragrance review, or it starts popping up like crazy on your YouTube. And then all of a sudden somebody told me, why don't you join Instagram? And then I was like, wow, there really is a ton of people like myself that are obsessed with fragrance or just in love with it. Like, it's just their thing. I was, always I felt kind of outcasted with other friends that, I'm so into notes and that and the third, and they're just like, I just want to smell good, man. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, So yeah, it's just always been a thing, pretty much.
All right. I do like Fahrenheit. That was my first fragrance I ever well, actually my second fragrance I ever purchased with my own money. The rest of my fragrances were given on my Christmas, my
Yeah.
birthdays, but Fahrenheit was my first fragrance that I ever bought with my own a second purchase I ever bought with my own money. Um, my first fragrance I ever bought with my own money was what was it? I s- oh, Versace. I had a Versace. I had a Versace low ohm. That
Oh,
was the one that I bought with my own money.
it's a good
But
one.
yeah, but Fahrenheit. I tell you one thing. Back in my days, I was wearing Fahrenheit, and the Fahrenheit that I have now is way different. It's like reformulated so much, but it has the same performance, but the
Yeah.
smell it weakens out, but it's still good. It's a good fragrance.
Oh
And
yeah.
oh
I
yeah,
mean,
man.
I
Oh,
still have a old bottle from. I mean, it's still one of my grandfather's bottles. I haven't broke it out and like taken pictures of it on my Instagram yet, but that bottle's got to be 30 years old, 25 years, whatever it is, 20 years old, more,
mhm.
and it's still stronger than a new formulation of it,
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely.
But it still smells good. I think in the times now, especially if you're single and girls are your thing, you can't be. They don't want to be blown out like that.
Hmm.
Back in the day, fragrances were stronger, and I was talking with a perfumer a few months back, and he was saying that besides like some things aren't, you're not allowed to use in fragrances anymore, certain notes and certain products, but that fragrances were a lot stronger or made a lot stronger. I'm not sure if this is 100% fact, but it was to overpower too that back in the day you could smoke in bars and you smoked everywhere, so you needed a fragrance too that could pump over that, so they were more a lot stronger for the lifestyle. Now it's like, I mean, nobody smokes anymore, so it's not like you're fighting against that in a bar.
No, no, especially when they cut back everything. Because I live in California, they cut. I think it was the first state that cut back on the cigarettes. I think New York was the. I think it was New York was the first one, and then it was California. You
Yeah,
know.
like, what part of California are you in? That's where I'm. Well, I'm originally from New York. I grew up
Okay.
in Brooklyn and Long Island, and then I only in the Midwest because of COVID hitting, and I moved with my ex-wife now, but to the Midwest was where I'm at in Indiana sucks.
Hmm.
But I lived in LA for 20 years.
Oh no way, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to head back there. I'm trying to get out of Indiana right now.
Oh man, you're always welcome to come back, man.
Yeah, I know my main work is out there, and all my homies and stuff. So
Yeah.
everybody's been like, "Get your ass back to LA."
No. Yeah, I am originally from Los Angeles. From I used to live in downtown LA for mainly 30 years of my life, maybe more, and now I live in Long Beach. So,
Nice. I like Long Beach.
yep.
You get a
So,
bang for your buck out there.
oh yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice communities. There's the good part of Long Beach, there's the bad part of Long Beach.
Yeah, like
Like
everywhere.
like everywhere exactly. So tell me, what's your scent of the day?
Scent of the day is Tom Ford Costa Azura, which is one of my favorites from Tom Ford. It's a marine, aromatic marine fragrance with, I mean, you have incense, oud, a seaweed note. There's like a driftwood cedar or something like that. It's just lovely. It's more of a darker marine, very classy scent to me. So yeah, it's just always been one of my favorites. Nobody really talks about it. I don't know why.
Hmm, that's that sounds like a very nice fragrance. I feel like I want to get a sample of that bad boy.
Yeah, if you get to like, I mean, most it's still out in most department store counters. If you go out there, it's pretty common. This one, and now they have the new parfum because that's the original,
Okay.
and the new one is an all gold bottle. But I
Okay.
haven't put my nose on that one yet. But I'm sure it's pretty good.
Hmm. And my scent of the day is Azaro Wanted by Night.
Yeah.
This one is really nice. Especially the LA weather still is kind of like warm and then cold, but it's this stuff here is still wearable, man.
Oh yeah,
Still
it's really
wearable.
good.
It's real good. I think most people here in LA, you can probably wear it around year round.
Yeah, it's super popular. I'm still. I was a huge fan of the first one, Wanted. Is it
Hmm.
Wanted? I think. And then the
Hmm.
new one I really like as well. But the new one to me reminds me of a few other fragrances. The Wanted by Night, it's very similar to me as the Armani Absolute, the Code Absolute. They're all in that same kind of vein.
Yep.
So it's like I have them all lined up because I have my redundant shelf. That's what I call it.
Hmm.
A bunch of fragrances that I hyped, and I'm like, they all smell the same. Yeah,
That's
to me.
cool. That's cool. Let me ask you a question. How many fragrances do you have in your collection right now?
I was brimming around 500, and the past month I have started selling off a ton of them. Not
Mm,
my niche, not my higher end stuff. I'm just at that point that like I've gotten through some of like the excitement, or you get a little carried away with especially when I first started watching Ross, the hauls and all that stuff. You start like it's just exciting, and you're picking up all types of random stuff for cheap. But it's like I'm at that point that the quantity is not, the number doesn't really impress me anymore. I was actually getting more overwhelmed seeing tons of bottles. And like I said, it's like I'm sick of redundancy. Like I have shelves of a million things that smell like Abercrombie and Fitch, or it's like I don't need 10 fragrances that smell like Paco Rabanne Invictus, it's or Invictus Aqua. I'm just like through that. So to me, it's like I'm maybe now at around 400. I've gotten rid of at least like 75 to 90 fragrances and working my way down. So I'm looking to kind of keep it to things that I really enjoy and want,
okay.
you know.
Okay. So pretty much you're taking away all the stuff that you started learning your fragrance journey, and then you don't need them anymore because it's already redundant, and you just want to sell it off. And but you do have niche fragrances. You do have good designer fragrances as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
all my higher end, niche stuff and designers, I'm pretty much holding on to unless I really it doesn't vibe with me and or anything like that. I'll sell it off. But it's been all kind of the cheapies and designers that I just really don't wear that I'm getting rid of.
oh, okay. What is the one that surprised you the most on your cheapy fragrances that you say, "Whoa, man, this is like this is kind of like really niche quality. Like it surprised you."
Let's see. It's real. That's a cheapie, like around like cheapy, or like around $50. Like what? Because
Like maybe.
for super cheap, and I've been talking about this one a lot. And it's from like the late '90s.
Mhm.
Is Nico Sculpture. Doesn't last very long, but smells like is it Xerjoff Udin or like a Chanel Blanche? It's in that kind of like citrus vanillic kind of vibe,
Mhm.
which to me, honestly, I mean, with the number of fragrances I said I have, I mean, I get more compliments. Not that I'm looking for them, but get more feedback wearing that when I'm doing errands. A $17, $18 fragrance you could buy on Amazon than when I wear a $300, $400 fragrance. You know,
Mhm.
and to me, so super cheap. That kind of was like, whoa, this thing smells kind of like a Xerjoff. Not
Oh,
as the quality's not the same. I mean, it's $17, but it's if you, it's in that same vein of that kind of citrus vanilla. And then in the higher end, it's like I don't like the fragrance at all. I don't
mhm.
even promote it anymore. It only to maybe niche and frag heads, but I think it's kind of blown out as but if the quality's there for the price is like Bentley Intense.
Mhm.
But to me it smells awful. Like
Mhm.
I can't stand that fragrance. But I
Mhm.
understand where the hype is that for $35, $40, it does smell like it would be a more expensive fragrance.
Hmm.
So that kind of impressed me as like a frag head, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna really review it and promote it to that point. Like if I sent that to any of my buddies in New York or in LA, they're gonna be like, dude, this smells disgusting. But another frag head like me and you, or
Yeah.
people that are really into fragrances,
Yeah.
then I understand why it's hyped through the community, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense
Yeah.
completely because our nose has matured over the time that our
Yeah.
journey is like we started, and some of us has matured as enough that saying, "Ooh, this one smells really good," but instead of a person who's immature with their nose and they just like freshies, but you give them something that bold, it's strong. I understand that, you
Yeah,
know.
it's it's boozy, it's sweet, a little spicy, but yeah, it's just I mean the scent profile for me is just I've worn it out and I've had people go like I didn't get good feedback from it. So I was just like, no thanks. I'll put that on the Macari list for sale.
Everyone's putting their Mercari stuff, man, over there, man. I'm doing my stuff as well, man. A couple of times I have a whole bunch that I don't use anymore, and I'm putting everything in Mercari myself. Um, what what advice would you like to give a young YouTuber or a young Instagrammer who's trying to go and collect their own fragrances?
Um, well, considering too, I'm newer to the scene. I mean, I'm not really anybody to write home about as of yet. I'm working my thing, but I think, and I was talking to this with a couple of other reviewers, people that we were having like private discussions, and
Yeah,
you could get kind of caught up in it that it's a very when you find this community and you're into fragrances as much as like you and I, you could get very excited when you're looking at your Instagram and people are taking pictures of bottles like they're models on a runway, and you see the Rosses or the Jeremy Fragrances or the Curly Scents or whomever like pumping these products, and it's just for me it's like I got caught up a bit and maybe overspent. It's like really take your time. Like I said, like there was no reason for me to go on hauls and buy, you know, 10 fragrances that smell the same. Because
true.
in reality, a lot of these, and I don't care what reviewer you are, just from experience, I'm sure most of them, like myself, don't wear a lot of their fragrances. You reach for the things you like. It's our hobby and we collect, but it's like a lot of stuff sits. I mean, you could burn through your wallet. So, with that said, it's like, take your time. Like, buy decants. Don't go out and just because somebody says the new Apex is the new thing. I mean, it's $370 without taxes and shipping. Then you could get it, and it's like, I've been very disappointed by some very expensive blind buys. So it's like, take your time, get decants. Don't get so overexcited and buy 10 fragrances that are the same. Try not to get caught up in trying to, I've had that itch too, and I'll be honest with it. Like, you want to look impressive because there's so many people out there that their content is impressive. Like, wow, they always have this new bottle. They have this, they have that. Their pictures are so dope that, I know some people that have put themselves in debt trying to keep up. And I almost was one of them, and it's like, you don't want to get to that point that you're getting that carried away. So, with that said, I'd say, take your time, stay within your own budget, be a smart shopper, buy decants, and don't try to be Ross, be Jeremy Fragrance, be anybody that's big on Instagram with their photos and try to keep up with, unless you have an endless amount of money and you're the perfume guy, Sebastian, because it seems like he has an endless amount of dough to keep buying. Don't try to keep up. Just go at your own pace, show your passion, and people, your people connect to you, and your vibe, no matter even if you have 10 fragrances, you show your passion, people will follow. They'll be interested.
I I wouldn't say nothing better than that, man. That's a very good advice to all these fragrance reviewers out there, man. That was like icing on the cake on people who are trying to come to this community. And I always tell these kids to start with decants, you know.
Yeah.
You can do a review with a decant. Like it's not that hard. You just do it, and you're not gonna spend a whole bunch of money because I've been regretting stuff that I shouldn't buy, you know, and now
Yeah.
I'm regretting it. But it's okay though, because that's my fragrance journey. But it's okay that we're young. We're very not young, but we're new on this fragrance channel and
Mhm.
in YouTube or Instagram, that at least we could give pointers to young men out there who want, or young women out there as
Yeah.
well, to like, go small, you know.
Yeah. Go small. It's, and I've had a few different people that have been supporting me, and, they're not reviewers or anything like that, but they're, they love fragrance, and they have told me, like, look, I bought this fragrance, and this fragrance because so and so said it was awesome. I fell into the hype, and and some of them weren't even that expensive of fragrances, but it's disappointing when you're like, somebody you're looking up to or whatever, or you watch and you take their critique to heart, and your hard-earned money is purchasing these fragrances, and when three fragrances show up that are 100 mil each, or even 50
Mhm,
mils, and the juice sucks in your
mhm.
to your nose, it's a shitty feeling. Excuse my language, but it's like I've had a lot of that trial and error, and I don't
Mhm.
blame the reviewer. They're just saying what they like and what
Yeah,
smells good to them. But yeah, I mean, it's you just got to take your time. And like, even with decants, you could get really carried away with decants. I mean, I
oh
have
yeah,
shoe boxes of them.
yeah,
Take your time, get a decant. So if you're going to get Beau de Jour, if you go through 5 milliliters, 10 milliliter sample of that or decant, you're ready for a bottle. You really enjoy that fragrance.
oh yeah,
Because I
absolutely,
have tons that 3 spritzes, and I'm like, that was all right. And then it just sits there.
yeah,
And they're not cheap either. Some of the
no,
niche, I mean, Apex alone, I looked up a decant. It was like 55, $60 or more for a 10 mil,
mm-hmm,
or maybe even more than that. That's
true,
crazy.
oh yeah, absolutely. Like when you start making your counting and putting everything into like setting up all the things, and by the end of the day when you put and add up everything, you were like, whoa, I spent $1,000 on this, like, and
Mm-hmm.
I just like two little decants because I like these two, but all the rest of the stuff is that good. Like, yeah, I understand that completely. um what do you think about the, you know let me see. What do you think about the niche fragrances right now? What are they developing, like Roja Dove or Zoroff, or maybe George Saharoff is doing a freshie right now? What do you think about that kind of like experience that other different niche fragrances are doing right now?
Oh, comparing like Zaharoff to other niche
Yes,
fragrances. Uh,
yes.
well, what for me going to Zaharoff, I mean, he's George and even Ross has been a part of from TLTG reviews is kind of a major part in my journey because Ross was one of the first people I spoke to, and I bought his fragrance first. Actually, that was my first Zaharoff when
Hmm.
Zed Creators were released. I first got a decant, a little sample I bought on eBay when you could get decants easily on eBay, and I got a little 2 milliliter. Fell in love with the scent profile, and then started ordering. And George, being the unicorn he is, how he reaches out to people, and
Yeah, you
he's
sure.
just such an amazing person. Reached out to me and has just these beautiful words. and got me to kind of light the fire to do what I'm doing now. But with that said, it's like I really love the house of Zaharoff, and then his whole passion that he travels everywhere. It's like his heart and soul is put into those bottles, which I respect, and it shows in the quality and his uniqueness of his scent profiles. And then on top of it, he makes them very affordable. Like for a niche, for what he's making, they are very affordable fragrances. When it comes to, and you said Roja Dove. Now, I'm not going to knock Roja. I'm not here for that. I
Hmm.
feel that I like a lot of his fragrances. They smell.
Hmm.
Do I feel like, they're high, more refined, high end kind of clones of some Guerlain offerings? That's just my opinion. But I love Danger. I do like Scandal. I like the fragrances I smell. I just feel like some of them, and right now I've kind of been a little vocal about it. It's just his prices to some of the fragrances I get upset with. Like Elysium to me going up to 315 is ridiculous. Like it smells good, but it doesn't perform very well. And to me, it's not a $315 fragrance. I mean, I'd rather get Sammy Andros or Andros or some of the clones out there for that scent profile than spend 315. So it's like, he's doing his thing. He's got some great products, but yeah, Roja right now for some reason I don't agree with his pricing to his product. That's just me. But I'm not knocking that the fragrances are good.
No, no, and
Yeah.
you're absolutely not doing that. I know that George Sahara does all these things and with a good, reasonable price, and I like that. Especially when Roja Dove, when I saw that they went up in price, I was like, wow, okay, what's going on?
At this
And,
point, the lower line, Danger, and all and not the ones that are the parfums and the little with the gold labels and all that stuff, but the red bottle, the green bottle, the lower end stuff for him, it should be dropping by now. I
yeah,
mean, it shouldn't have gone. What, like, I would love to sit with him and be like, what's the reason?
yeah,
Like, why is it? Unless he really like, if it, I would understand if he really just wants that higher end clientele. Like, I get that.
hmm,
Still, like people like you and I, it's like I don't know how much you make, but normal people that are watching, going back to the fragcom thing, getting into this, spend their car payment money to get a Roja Dove bottle.
yep.
There's so many other things I could recommend that are very similar than spending 315. I've had some other, not even reviewers, people that collect, like, but oh damn the bottle, yo. And I'm like, is it the juice or the bottle? If you want to stare at a nice bottle, go on eBay, get an empty one for $35.
That's true.
Like, it's like, oh, I don't even wear it that much. That bottle, so that's another thing that we get addicted to. And I could say the same. I love bottles as well. Some of them are just dope looking.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah, like especially like the Zaro, like this is the reasons why I bought it. But there's a lot of people who told me go buy this bottle, and because the smell is awesome, and I bought it because I really like the bottle presentation. This is pretty cool, you
yeah,
know. But yeah, like yeah, a lot of these fragrance companies right now and niche fragrances are going up, and I believe that George Saharoff is doing a fantastic job with their pricing and their quality. Their quality is fantastic,
yeah. That's
and I I truly believe that in the future I will buy some bottles from him because I promised to I told my wife like look, these are the three fragrances I'm gonna buy from George Saharoff because I test them out, I tried them out with samples, and it's tobacco, Porom, and Noir. Those are the three I really want to get. You know,
they're
those are
great.
the three, and the rest I didn't. The Royale line. I'm okay with those. If I ever want to buy something again with those three fragrances and I want to change it up a little bit, I probably go with Royale. or Royale X. Um, I have another question for you. What is the most expensive niche fragrance do you have, and for the moment right now that you're enjoying, like the living heck out of it?
What I posted yesterday was one of the most expensive recent purchases is the Monkey Special, the Tony Iommi Zerge off.
Mm-hmm.
That one is I still get nervous even grabbing it because I'm not only a huge fan of Black Sabbath and Tony Iommi,
Yeah.
and I am a fan of the House of Zerjoff, but it's yeah, I mean it's just the bottle's so amazing, having the autographs on it, and the juice was way better than I expected. Because,
Wow.
like most every fragrance company, from designer to niche, you can't really label it, has hit or misses. Nothing, not everything's going to be a win or something you're going to like, but it's just so good. The fragrance it's magical. I'm scared to spray the bottle. Yesterday too, I was being kind of cheap with myself with it. Like I was going to a meeting and I'm like, few squirts, and I'm like counting how much money it is each squirt. I'm like $10, $20, and I can't see what's in it, so it's freaking
Mm-hmm.
me. So it's so that one is the most recent
Mm-hmm.
that I was like, after I bought that one, I'm like, I got to slow down and be really smart with my purchases. Because also too, it's like I'm honest about this. I'm in Indiana in a little bit of limbo, but I'll just keep it. It's like I'm going through a divorce too, so I'm trying to get through this, and then and watch my funds a little bit because if you've been through it, if anybody's been through a divorce, it's not so cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
she's cutting into my fragrance journey, bro.
well, I've been in that journey myself, and I feel you, brother, and I hope both of you, both parties, uh, resolute into a nice, peaceful ending. I,
Trying.
I I hope so. I hope. Um,
Thank you.
now, now, I'm thinking, what that a man who has 900 fragrances during this time, well, um, what is your daily driver, bro?
My daily driver,
Yeah.
it's like because I mean you could probably relate.
Hmm.
I don't really have particularly a daily driver. It's like I go to the gym every morning,
Yeah.
so I have a few that I kind of go with my morning fragrance. I don't really consider as my scent of the day, but it's a super cheapy, and it's you could get them at Ross, TJ Maxx, and it's Sean John 3 a.m.
Oh.
It's kind of like my dumb reach, and the Nico sculpture is a new one that's like
Yeah.
my cheapies like when I'm on the run. But I've gotten to a point that, and this has all been very recent, that I'm looking at my collection that I'm not only downsizing a bit to get rid of, trim it up, get rid of the things I don't wear, but I'm starting. This is going to sound crazy, as I don't know if anybody else out there does this that collects, but I'm starting to actually kind of pick what fragrance I'm going to wear for the week. Like Monday, I'm scheduling them so I friggin' wear them.
Yeah.
Because it's like I have a lot of stuff that I'm like, damn, I forgot I had that bottle. And then I'll spray it on and I'm like, it's so good. I've been missing out for so long. It's sitting there collecting dust. So that's another thing with like being a heavy collector. It's like you get something, you spray it, you're all excited, you maybe wear it for 2 days, and then it goes behind everything else. And then it's a bottomless pit with this fragrance game that something else is always replacing what you just got that you wanted before. So it's
Hmm.
never ending, that feeling. So yeah, there's really no daily driver right now. My daily drivers are becoming scheduled. So I wear the damn things. That's basically it. So
Good for you. Good for you. The same here as well. I have no daily driver. I have them all scheduled right here on my bottle cases, and I'm just like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like I have them all like that lined up. Yeah, like I like to experience all the stuff that I have, especially when when fragrance community, like my friends, like Bro Sense. I don't know if you know him.
I do. He's
Well,
person.
bro, since Tyrone, he always we always call every day. We talk, we have a conversation, and a couple times he asks me for a, oh yeah, do you have a decan of this or decan, or I ask for him also, like, hey, do you have this? Do you have that? We always help each other out, you know, and like for instance, like I had a black tribute from Afnan, and that one was amazing. Like it was like a niche fragrance. Like I gave it to Tyrone because Tyrone he's collecting now
Yeah.
uh, I call it Middle Eastern fragrances. But what do you think about Middle Eastern fragrances right now?
You know what? It's I started exploring them, I guess, say about a year ago, and I'm loving the journey on that part too. There's some really good, like a lot of fragrances. Some things could be very redundant, or the DNAs through Middle Eastern houses could be very similar. But there's some really, I mean, some of the best cheapies I've had. Even one of my favorite fragrances that's on my top 10. That if I had to go with 10, one of them is from Arabian Oud. I've spoken about it, and it's called Amiri,
Hmm.
and which means prince. And that to me is one of my favorite fragrances ever, Freshies. And if you want something that's similar to it, unless you've gotten it already, um,
Pen and paper.
the Tarathi Blue
Okay. Oh,
is,
I got that one.
yeah, it's very similar, but take away that kind of like Bulgari tiger ish part of it, and just the other kind of scent profile, the other direction it goes into.
Mhm.
They give that more balls and more quality, and you're almost in the same world as Amiri. Amiri is just really much more high quality. It's like about 200 to 250, I think, for Amiri. But the bottle and the presentation that it comes in is amazing.
I bet it is. So Amiri, is that from the company? What's the house name? It's just called Amiri or
Arabian Oud.
Arabian Oud. Okay, got it. Arabian Oud. Okay, cool. I always keep notes. I always have a pen and paper on me all the time, like a pro, like a
Yeah, I
pro.
do the same thing when I'm watching, reviews or even watching lives because we'll probably get into it a little bit.
Yeah,
Some
that's
some of my
yeah.
favorite stuff has been the indie people, the indie perfumers has been some of my favorite fragrances forever.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I'm curious. Do you like anything from Making Sense?
making sense. I love Mikey's stuff. I have Fallen Leaf, which your fragrance of the day. I like Fallen Leaf better, which is kind of in the same kind of vein, but oh man, you put that juice in a designer bottle, and that thing would fly off shelves.
It would be
I have,
flying.
I was
Oh yeah.
lucked out before he took it. I hope it comes back, but I think it was just a one-time batch type deal. Was Mr. Miami Blue, the Cuddles edition? That's what I call it.
Hmm.
Mr. Miami Cuddles is that I love that fragrance, and I'm very particular with my freshies, and
Oh yeah.
that just that citrus. It's kind of sweet. It's bright. It just makes me happy. And then I have one other. He sent me. I don't know if it's like a dupe of Angel Share. I gotta look. I forget which sample he sent a couple of samples, but everything I put my nose on from Mike's from Making Sense is top notch.
Absolutely. I have several of Making Sense. I do have Night Out. I have Falling Leaf. I have King Maximus. That's like an Aventus clone. I have Tony's Tiger. I love Bulgari Tiger, so I bought myself
Yeah,
Tony's Tiger, and it is banging. You just have to let it wait for maybe a couple months, making you know,
master.
yeah, yep, masquerade, and then after that, you just wear it. It is. I was wearing it yesterday, and it was beautiful, man. It was strong. You can actually. I was walking, so I was sweating, so it was bringing out the beautiful smell, the scent, man. It was good, man.
Yeah,
Oh, yep. And I do have other one. Oh, the Frankenbatch, the Frankenbatch.
I've heard that.
That one's pretty good too, man. I do enjoy his little creations here and there when it comes to the Frankenbatches. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's
Um,
fine. You never know what you're gonna get, type of
e-
deal. Frank.
exactly. Like for me, um, I was into Happy Land Studios.
I like Happy Land as well. He's
Hmm.
got some great stuff. Big fan.
Hmm. Have you ever owned anything from them?
I have a lot. I have Cravat Noir, which I love. What is it? Faux de Fafa, a Fafa de
All
Fafa.
right.
Those two. I have Shameless, but I actually gave Shameless to a friend of mine, which he loved
Okay.
because to me it reminded me of kind of like Hasavat a little bit.
Hmm.
Have that, and my friend is just on the beginning of his journey.
Hmm.
I have like samples of Homeland, the other Homeland that was called something else at one point. I think it was made for Ross at TLTG reviews.
Mm.
Yeah, I have most of sample wise, like the whole house pretty much, except for some of the new ones, like the new Creek one and things like that. But he makes amazing stuff. Like it's quality, they perform well, everything smells pretty good. The only one I wasn't too fond of was the Green Irish Tweed.
Mm.
It's the only
Okay.
wasn't my jam. I had a full bottle, but a friend of mine liked it when he was visiting, and I gave it to him.
Mm.
Just that, just wasn't my scent. It wasn't my jam.
Yeah, that's true. Like some of the like for me, Studios has great fragrances. I do have um Home of the Holidays Decaf Edition, and I do have Home Happy Land Signature. That one's a good.
It's really
That
good.
was a good one. And there's the other one uh, that I have is called Shadowland. I'm not a big fan of that one. It smells more of a detergent, you know.
Mm.
But I still have it with me, and I think I'm going to keep that for a while.
Yeah,
But
I want to try. Unless you have it, Sarah from Glam Finds always talks about. She loves it. And talked about it. She likes Seven. Is it Seven?
mhm,
And I want to put my nose on that one because she's just so amped about it every time she talks about it. But I haven't put my nose on that one yet. I think I'm just gonna get a sample. And his samples are cheap. I mean, he
yeah,
gives you like 5 mils for like $7.
yep.
You can't really go wrong with that.
No, you can't go wrong with that
No, it's
at
very
all.
no, it's very generous for that price.
Hmm. Like for instance, like getting Happy Land, like it is a beast, man. Like I think every single fragrance they have, and you put it on, uh, the longevity is there. It's there for a
Yeah,
long time. It's good quality. They don't cheap around. It doesn't like you start spraying on and it just evaporates. That's it. Like after half an hour or an hour or two, you know. But
it's
this
super
one's
oily.
yeah, this one's man. You press the atomizer and the sheen of that oil is on your neck still. Like for after like 3-4 hours, you
They're
know.
extracts, aren't they? They are extracts, aren't they? Or am I?
Yeah, yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah, that's why. It's like I
Mhm.
remember when I first got it was Cravat Noir.
Yeah.
And I wasn't thinking, and I was like a couple inches from my shirt, and I had to change right away because it was like, and it just a big old grease stain, and I'm like, damn it! I still couldn't get it out of my shirt.
Oh,
One of
jeez.
those t-shirts that I was like, I'll just use it for whatever now because it's got an oil stain.
Oh.
You got to be careful with his stuff.
Oh,
Switch
yeah.
distance.
Yep. Absolutely. Like, I get kind of like, oh, I'm gonna go a little bit on the, like, on top of my white shirt, just a little bit, so I don't get that oil stain on me.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Those are like it hits. I like really strong essential oils. I
yeah.
don't like the evaporation like in cheap fragrances. They have. I'm not I'm not afraid of having synthetic oils, but I do like I don't like, sorry. I don't like is that once you spray it on, and after a couple hours it's gone. Like Tommy Bahama, you know,
Yeah.
Tommy Bahamas. They're great. They smell
Oh,
great,
great.
but
Yeah.
they don't last.
A lot of them.
Hmm?
I said a lot do smell great, but the performance is terrible. But you're going to, I mean, designer and like when you go in eau de toilette, they're just, that's par for the course, I think, sometimes because it's the formulation of it. You can't
True.
really put it in the same class of as a parfum or an eau de parfum or even an extrait because you
Yeah,
almost pretty much straight oil.
that's true.
So it's yeah, I mean I think that's part of the journey too. You get kind of spoiled when you go for those higher qualities, and some of the
Yep.
perfumers are really making some dense, thick stuff.
Yep.
But you're
That
like,
that.
wow, it pumps off my skin for 8 to 10 hours.
Hmm.
You know, so I try to, as a reviewer, I'm starting to learn too. It's like, really try to inform the newer people that are maybe getting into this that like you really can't put certain fragrances in the same class, especially if it's an eau de toilette. Oh, the performance on this one is shit. Well, it's like, well, that's an eau de toilette that's mostly alcohol, and you're putting it up against, a $200 parfum.
Hmm.
You're not going to get the same performance. I don't get mad when I get like a $200 fragrance that's a high concentration and the performance is still shit.
Yeah.
Hence,
That's
hence Elysium.
yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Sorry, you Roja lovers.
Roja lovers.
My, I don't dislike that, but I'm just being real. There's a lot of niche houses, and it is what it is. But for me, as a reviewer and a fragrance lover and all that stuff, it's hard for me to spend a certain amount of money when there's clones of stuff now that smell better and last longer than the actual house.
Yeah.
That's
That.
that's raising its prices like it's the OPEC holding off on oil here. It's like, come on now.
Yeah. That's true. Like these these fragrances are like they're changing and they're going up in prices, and are we gonna be sheep, or are we gonna still be sheep? Like when if I buy a bottle of this like this, it's gonna cost me an extra $10-$20 more, or I don't know what's gonna happen to the
You know,
fragrance. Hmm?
it's your own personal decision, when you're purchasing it, and everything's subjective. What I don't like, you might love, and it's like, you can't really tell anybody what to do with their money or how they're going to treat this
Yep.
this situation or their journey. But yeah, I mean, it's just you can only give advice, and for me, it's like it's trial and error, and I've noticed that in some of my lives when I'm honest with my feelings. It's like, oh, but people don't even listen. They're taking it wrong. Like I'm saying, I don't like Roja. I don't like this. It's like I think they put out great fragrances. They smell great, but I'm allowed to have my opinion that I don't feel certain fragrances in a line are the price point they should be. And some of them have been around long enough that they probably should be in the low twos or under two by now. That's just my opinion. It's not just we're using Roja as an example. I could go through quite a few houses that I feel that way about, but it
Mm.
is.
Like for me, I totally agree what you're saying, and also we are the consumers. We buy your products,
Yeah,
and I think um, that as a consumer, we need to let these people know, especially on every single niche company, that hey, why are you lifting up the prices? They don't give us they don't give us an answer, and all that stuff. Like, dude, we're the ones who buying your products. you know it's not a person who's just barely got woke up in the morning saying, huh, you know what, I'm gonna buy me a Roja. you know
yeah,
no, it's actually us. We love your fragrances, and we want to like give your input. Like, most companies hate good, honest criticism. Like, I love honest criticism. Like, if someone comments on my reviews and telling me, hey, you know what, I suggest you do this and do that, and it works out for me, then I accept that criticism. But most companies don't accept that at all. They just want to do their own thing, and that's about the end of the game for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's those I've read, been on forums or other lives, and the reviewers that have gotten bigger that I still respect and like, and it's like they're not. I don't look at certain people as sellouts, because and a lot of them you could tell that you get to a certain level and you're going to get products sent to you by a company, and I know that the company, and this is many companies, they'll send you kind of a script that's like bullet points, like talk about the ingredients, do this, do that, and it'll leave it up to the reviewer to give their thoughts on it. But most reviewers are not going to like dog a fragrance. It's hard, like when you start getting to that point, like holy shit, Rojo or Killian or whatever it is, or even some of these indie brands that are they're expensive, that are big, sending you a product you don't really want to. It's hard sometimes to really say how you feel, and I get that.
Yeah.
But it's you know how am I trying to say? It's I think there's just a fine line, and there's a good example. There's a way to do it in a classy way. I could tell now I'm at a point when a reviewer is like kind of like meh about it, but they were very vague. Like smells, they give the notes, smells nice, but if they're not really freaking out about something, then it's that they're like whatever. They got a free bottle. They did their job. They didn't blow it up. I can't respect if somebody's going to come on. Like I personally couldn't be that way. I don't care. Roja's hitting me up, Killian. I'm not going to go on and dog it. I will be say how I feel. Maybe say it's not for me, but I could see other people liking this. But it's like you're not going to get me to go on there and be the salesman for you. It's just I can't lie to people because it's my name, and it's like I don't want somebody like yourself or somebody that's watching me or as an influencer and spending $300 $400 of their hard-earned money, and then they're disappointed, or they're like, man, I took my cell phone money to get this. It's like people do crazy stuff when they're watching people like ourselves at whatever level. So it's like
Yeah.
I just want to try to keep, even if I grow in this hobby or this passion gets to a point that I'm at somewhere at a bigger level, getting things sent to me, that I stay true to, you know, the the masses. That I'm not being that guy. Because one thing I will respect is I watched Jeremy Fragrance recently. As crazy as he is, it was being in his underwear and doing all those crazy antics. He definitely was sent a bottle of Roja Apex, and he reviewed it in a classy way. And I almost posted a screenshot of his face. You could tell he stayed classy about it. He said it was how he felt about it, but there was no excitement in his face. He's like, oh, it's good, it's nice, it's kind of has a gin like thing, kind of mass appealing. He was very you know he stayed by the book, that he
Okay.
wasn't knocking anybody, and that I can respect.
Okay. That's
So
good. Like for me, what my whole entire review channel is all about is there is no shenanigans in my review. You know,
yeah,
there's nothing like that. If I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you straight up, I don't like it, and I know that you do the same as well. You know, or if you don't like it, why are you gonna do a review about it? Just some people don't do that. They just push it away or give it to their best friends or whatever. But other than that, but other than that, I truly understand that we as fragrance reviewers, influencers as well, we have to have the you know the pure honesty in telling them, hey, you know what, this is a messed up fragrance,
yeah,
and we just have to put it out there. Um,
it's true. It's when you're working hard, especially. It's like if I could see with certain people that are really going full time and they're trying to make this their job.
yeah,
you know. And for me, if it turned into something like that, that's different. But yeah, I mean, you just like you said, be real, be straightforward. You'll get more respect in the end. You
Yeah.
know, never disrespect a dog or company to a point that you get like. There's no reason to. I mean, Roja never did anything wrong to me. Nobody's like. It's just you give your honest critique of how you feel on a fragrance. That's how I feel. Because I will say, and I'll make it quick, is when I was newer, you know, kind of was influenced by some bigger people and gave a review of something that I'm not super proud of how I handled it.
Mm-hmm.
That, you know, when I learned more and got more polished and things evolved and I learned more about the certain company and what I reviewed, if I could go back, I wasn't as honest as I should have been.
Yeah.
You know, and I've been at a like moral war. Do I take down those posts because the products aren't cheap?
Mm-hmm.
Getting to a point that still at a low level, but there are some people that might take my advice on the product and go out and buy it. So it's like, you know, this it's a tough situation. It really is. It could become a moral thing when you're doing reviews.
Yeah.
Part of if you're gonna start getting into Fragcom and reviews and take this as serious as myself or like yourself, you know, you're on a fine line. You got to really figure yourself out. How
Absolutely.
how you want to present yourself.
Yep. So, like this one right here.
Oh, I saw that. I went into Ross yesterday, and it was
Mm-hmm.
on the bottom shelf, and I was so tempted because of your just the bio, so super cheap. But
Yeah.
I didn't do it. But
Yeah.
you were
It's kind of like an elephant gift, you know. If you want to do it for Christmas, you can just give that away. You know, it's funny. I do like it, but I'm not gonna tell anybody. I know I got some little bit of negative feedback with this review that I just did, but but I'm not gonna change my objective of this fragrance. This fragrance is not good. I don't like it, you know, and I don't want anybody to buy it, you know. If unless if this is a gag gift or an elephant gift, then yeah, dude, just go ahead and buy it. It's not gonna cost you $10, you know.
yeah, it's true. It's you know, and some aren't bad. Like I bought it. What is it? Jay-Z Gold.
Hmm.
Not that bad.
Yeah,
It's actually impressed me more than I thought it would. I haven't like reviewed it or anything like that, but it's one of those like cheapies that you could keep in your glove box and it's non offensive, mass appealing, better than I
yeah,
thought. I bought
yeah,
for just because I thought the box and the bottle was dope as hell is that Lionel Richie Hello. The
yeah,
fragrance is actually not that bad. It's
yeah,
not groundbreaking, but I was like, damn, look, vinyl Richie on a box and the bottle's all gold and kind of dope looking. It kind
yep,
of cool in the collection. Some of them are bad, but hey, if it's bad, it's bad.
yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it is. Or if it's really cheap smelling,
Hmm.
you
Like
know.
Hello from Lionel Richie is a very nice fragrance. It's not a game changer, but it's a
No.
good fragrance. I had no like bad about it whatsoever. I love the bottle presentation. It looks so 70s, you know, and it's Lionel Richie, you know, it's Lionel Richie. He at least he smiles. Kanye does not smile.
Kanye,
You know?
yeah, Kanye is Kanye.
Yeah, exactly. um, what is your next thing right now? To your right now when you want to do a review on Instagram or on Facebook? What I mean, on YouTube. What's going on? What's the next project for you right now in your review? What do you want to do in your reviews right now?
Well, I've been kind of subjected right now to Instagram because I've been
Hmm.
in. So I'm at this point. I'm not sure if you know, but I've been locked out of my Fox Accord.
Hmm.
The email that my YouTube is attached to, I can't get into. It's been a whole thing. I've
Yeah.
tried every method to get into my content, and there's no help
Hmm.
from Google and all that stuff. The most booty situation and mind blowing situation that I can't get into my accounts ever.
Wow.
So I'm at a point that with my YouTube channel, I'm so itchy to put content out, and I'm having fun on Instagram, and it's building nice. And what I like about Instagram is a lot of the frag heads are on it. Like
Yep.
you're getting an audience, you're getting your subscribers or followers will come quickly. And but with that said, like going back, I started my channel maybe 6 7 months ago, and I'm locked out. And the day I was locked, when I realized I was locked out, I was at like a little over 700 subscribers. Now I'm
Oh,
over 100, and I haven't even posted anything. So it's kind of like a knife to the gut watching numbers go up.
yeah.
Can't do anything. So with
Oh, wow.
that long-winded spiel, at that moment that I like, do I just say fuck it and start another channel and start from scratch? I've learned a lot, and I'm a different person than when I started originally.
Hmm.
Leave that there. That's a little archive of my beginning. And Fat Boy had me on. And my first videos, I wasn't much, I didn't blink too much. I was a deer in headlights in my fragrance reviews, which was kind of a funny critique and made us homies. But yeah, I think that's my next project. Is like I've just been swallowing my pride, and I'm gonna start a new channel, start from scratch. Hopefully, get some love from the family and people that were supporters carry over. But
Yeah.
I'm about to maybe launch that I need to, because I like doing my YouTube content,
Yeah.
and I bring it just sucks. I've just been in such like I'm kind of depressed, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna start from scratch. That there'll be the Fox Accord, but it might turn into the Mr. Fox Accord, Mr. Fox Accord for the next.
Or I am Fox Accord.
I am Fox Accord, something like that. It's
Yeah.
thought about that, but it's like it's funny is there's I Smell, which I love. I love
Yeah.
homie, and I try not to, like, I almost came out as Fox 2 Cents, and
Yeah.
right as I was about to launch my channel, everything was still hidden.
Yeah.
I had videos made, and then all of a sudden this handsome character pops up with his charming reviews, and it's Brian from My 2 Cents, and I'm like, this son of a bitch has the same fucking name as me. And then I started watching him, and he's good. I'm like, this is,
Yeah.
and now we know each other and we're friends, and like I've been on his lives, and like we groove together, and the whole group of people that is with him, that we all support each other. And yeah, so it's been like a funny journey. I had to switch and figure out a new name. So it's like the I Smell thing. It's like I don't want to be like I am Fox Accord with the I. So it's like I think I want that Fox Accord. I might just make it Mister. I'm trying to go more of a debonair kind of style, like more high fashion kind of type of deal. But yeah, I'm re kind of molding myself because of this lock,
Yeah.
my demi rolling moment with YouTube, and I'm in a meltdown. All right, guys, I can't get into it.
Yeah, I heard all about those situations right now, especially like I would love for you to come back, dude, on YouTube. And but I seen that you have a big success in your Instagram. That's how I met you. You know, like
Yeah,
that's how I started following you, and you followed me back, and that's how I started looking at your content. I was looking at your stuff, and I'm like, man, I like this guy, man. I like his reviews. This is pretty cool. And your sketches are hilarious, sir. I
thank.
congratulate you.
Yeah, if you go really far down on that Instagram, it's like I started that because I have background in like improv comedy and acting and all that stuff, and uh, I've always enjoyed those filters. Like I
Yeah.
just like doing characters and playing off them. I have another one I did the other night that I hurt my back and I was soaking in a bathtub. And so I'll probably post that. Nothing's like revealed. It's neck up, obviously, but it's a
Yeah, yeah,
silly kind of character I did. But yeah, I like bringing that to the table. And I didn't think anybody in the fragrance community was really going to get it, but I'm kind of incorporating, as you see, the fragrance kind of things with the characters. Yeah, it's fun. I'm trying to show all sides of myself, and I think the Instagram thing has been a little less stressful because YouTube's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Like you're filming and like whether it's on your phone or on a camera, unless you get to a point you're really quick at it. But I've had moments that like, damn, I have 50, 60 minutes of footage, and then you sit
Hmm.
for a few hours editing and this, that, and the third. And it's a day project.
Oh yeah.
And then it's like if I've learned if you're gonna do it, pick one day a week, knock out a couple of them or a few of them, get it all done. Like it's your day of work to get your 3 videos done, your top 10, your fragrances of the week, all that stuff done on a Sunday. So you're like, don't have to, that you have a few days of dropping. So you're not stressed out all week trying to keep up with your
Yep.
job, you do, and then you're filming. So
Yep.
with you, with Instagram, it's just been so much quicker for me. You
Yeah.
turn the camera on, it's more natural. You only have 10 minutes to babble on reels or whatever it is. So it's been like a little, I think, easier. And like I said, you're getting your audience, people that are actually
Absolutely.
interested in fragrance.
Yeah.
And you're not battling an algorithm on YouTube that is dominated by, and more power to them, the Demi Rawlings, the Jeremy Fragrances, the Gen Sense, the Studio Sense, or anybody that's way bigger than we are.
Yeah.
And for me on YouTube, I'm just the type, I don't want to do top 10 sexy fucking fragrances all the time. It bores the shit out of me. Nor do I want to be a guy reviewing 10 sexy fragrances that make ladies turn their heads. I want to hear a female reviewer tell me what's sexy for to wear. That's just me personally. Like some of these, it's like I'm just like, dude, I can't do it. I just was
Yeah.
getting so bored of that. But that's what really is going to get you numbers, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Talking about our passion, nobody wants to hear it.
No.
What's sexy? What's this? What's beast mode? It's like it was driving me bananas.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I've noticed it. Or it's like you have to get ahead of the herd. And like myself, I lucked out. I was able to get in touch with Zerjoff and get the Tony Iommi bottle very early. I knew it was a big release, and I kind of went viral with it. That I
Yeah.
got a lot of, almost 8, 9,000 views, tons of likes. It got me a bunch of followers, but still, you can't live like that. That it's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get the new Apex before everybody else, just to get the jump
Yeah.
on. It's
Yeah.
400, 500, and you just can't keep up like that.
Yeah.
Because
You can't.
still,
You can't.
you
Can't. Never can do that. Like for me, like when I see those kind of uh, thumbnails, 10 sexy, 10 panty droppers, or 10 girls that gonna kiss you with this fragrance and all this stuff. Like I'm like I I I can't do that kind of review. You
yeah,
know, like for me, I have a passion of smelling them, and I could tell you, like for me, I love to do women's fragrances as well. Like right now, I'm gonna be reviewing Elizabeth Arden, Fifth Avenue. This one, it's it's not for the young people out there. It's a very mature fragrance. It's a beautiful yellow, white floral fragrance. It's fantastic. I'm gonna make a review out of this. I like doing these women's perfumes because why? Because guys smells them, and guys smells them, they get attracted to it. Like, come on. I'm thinking that way.
no, I'm starting to get into it as well because I'm so, I mean, I'm a male, so it's like obviously I'm getting mostly men's fragrances or unisex. Everything's unisex. But
Yeah.
it's like, you know, I'm starting to dive into that as well with other female reviewers,
Hmm.
and one of which is Amanda Marie, who's on Instagram, and she has a YouTube as well, and she's awesome. She, and there's another part of the journey. You start meeting other reviewers and stuff like that, and we trade samples and things like that. That's what's so awesome about the community as well.
Yeah.
She sprayed. She sent me a box. I sent her a few samples, and then she sent me some samples of things she wanted me to try. And she sprayed the box with Delina exclusive from Parfum
Ooh,
Marley. Bro, I slept with the box next to my pillow. That thing felt so that's serious. I woke up, that thing was pumping. It won't go away. I still have the box for 3, 4 weeks.
nice.
And it's like one of the most gorgeous scents. So it's like, I'm starting to ask more and more what's, you know, some good free female fragrances out there. I've thought about reviewing them, but maybe down the line. But you also
Yeah.
own the bottles. I'm already buying so many bottles of my own stuff, and I'm going to start tapping
Hmm.
into. If I had a wife or a girl that that at least could wear them, because I have some feminine stuff, but I'm not walking around the house wearing daily and exclusive.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just me.
Yeah. For me, I'm talking to one of my the last interview that I had with Eva, and she has her own Instagram account there. It's called A Perfumer Collector,
Okay.
and we're she's sending me samples of women's fragrances, and we're started like figuring out what kind of like these are good, these are bad. Like we're exploring, you know.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
awesome.
it's a good thing that the fragrance community out here is really cool. It's chill back, and we help each other, and I love this community. This community is pretty darn awesome,
It's
you
been
know.
one of the most amazing experiences for me. That the hardest point of my life with the split between my wife, and then I started my channel basically as she was walking out the door, or she was, and I
Hmm.
kind of went into, I had living in another apartment within the complex I'm in, but we had a spare bedroom where I just, no matter what was going on, that's when I turned on the camera
Mm.
and just started pouring my whole heart into this stuff. And yeah, I mean, the people you meet, and not just even fragrance related, the other people I've talked to on a side note, opening up about their own experiences and hardships in life, and then the overwhelming, like, that we're all, most of us are in it for with each other, and sending samples and just excited about everything together. It really is amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
there, you still have to watch yourself, like anywhere. Unfortunately in life, whether you're in a corporate situation, doing anything entertainment, there's some dog eat dog out there.
Oh yeah.
And I've learned that along the way in the beginning of my journey, that there are a few I thought were more real, and I still deal with them, but I know them. They
Hmm.
realize I know what they are, but you just got to be careful and not get too gullible and
That's true.
too excited. It's like
Yeah.
you never know people's intentions in every anything you do. But
Yeah.
overall, most people I've met so far in this has been amazing.
Oh man. And I'm gonna be the first one to tell you, dude, you're amazing, man. You're an
Oh,
amazing person, man. You got this interview so short notice, and you accepted it, dude. You're an awesome guy, man.
likewise.
Thank you, thank you.
I
Um,
appreciate this.
yeah. Oh, we're gonna ask another question. Let me see. How about the drama and fraccom? Let's talk about that. Not just play. I'm just playing.
That's
All
really
right.
dig deep. That's dig.
um, you wanna see some questions right here in the
Yeah,
chat and see if you wanna answer them?
yeah, sure. I can't even tell who's in. I can't
Okay, no problem.
because I'm
No
doing this on
problem.
my cell phone. So it's. I'm sorry,
No
guys. If I
problem.
said hello, whoever's watching.
uh, one person says, give me 1 second. I gotta take that away. It says, oh, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. What are a few designer fragrances that are popular right now, but you feel are? Uh, oh, wait a minute. Where is it? Is it locked? Let me see what's going on.
Something popped up for a second.
Yeah, I know. Huh? What's going on?
I'm trying to think. I think so. Popular fragrances now that are overrated.
Overrated. I'm
Why?
sorry.
Why?
So
Design.
the question so the question is, what are the few designer fragrances that are popular right now, but you feel are overrated, and why?
Hmm, let's see. Popular designers that are newer or just overall. Let's see. I almost want to like go look at my collection because there's a few that I stare at that are. I feel like one that's kind of hyped up right now is that Prada Ocean. I think it's kind of just. I like to put them as it's like it smells good, but it's kind of basic. Performance on my skin is like pretty lackluster. Just like you know what it is. A lot of these designers are just so redundant that it hasn't been anything that has really blown me away and like a unique factor. I'm
Yeah.
trying. I'm drawing blank because it's like I'm hungry and I'm thinking it's one of those things. It'll hit me. Let's do another
Oh,
question. I'm thinking like hard now. Which fragrances are really like Prada Ocean was one of them when I got it. I was like, eh. And then what else has been? Oh, man, I'm drawing blank. Give me a second. Go to another question. I'll come back to that. I'm thinking about it.
okay. Um, what do you think about Tipsy Angel from Making Sense?
That there it is. That's one of the samples I had. I love it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good. That's
because
good.
that's like the Angel Share kind of dupe that he or creation he put together. I think it's pretty damn close.
Mm,
When I sent um, my box to Amanda and the samples, that's what I sprayed in, and instantly she was like, "Oh my god, the box and everything you sent smelled so good." That's why she sprayed my box. So yeah,
yeah.
I mean, you put a few of my stuff that I've have, you throw that in a different bottle with a different label, easily could be sold, and nobody would know that
Yeah.
it was made, and it's an indie guy, crushing certain fragrances.
Hmm.
He definitely deserves more shine.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Um, right now, the questions are, if you want to, right now in the chat, you can go ahead and you can write down any questions for Mr. Fox Accord, and I could we could ask we can answer all, some of your questions before we just in the chat right now in a couple minutes. If that's okay with you, Fox.
Yeah, of course. I gotta walk the dog soon, feed him, and do all that.
Okay,
Snow
okay,
is starting
sounds
to
good.
pile up. Unfortunately, I'm gonna
Sounds
walk
good.
around a bit. I'm gonna look at
Yeah, yeah.
my designers while you're looking at some questions. Hold on.
Yep.
See if any. I don't want to disappoint. Let's see what we got. What has been blown up?
Oh no,
Oh God.
what happened?
What you lost me or no? I'm just looking at my some of. Um,
Hmm.
oh, one designer, and it's not bad, is that's hyped up a little bit, and it's quality's there. It's got a more of a Middle Eastern kick, and it's definitely a way step above. But for the masses, and once
Mhm.
again, is Sauvage Elixir.
Okay.
To me, I recommended that to a friend, and it's not cheap. It's
Hmm.
150 plus, I
Yeah.
believe. Now, to somebody like myself, I dig it, but still, the opening, like my ex-wife or whatever I want to call her, and some people I've been told I smell like I got sprayed by a skunk when I wore that. But the dry down is bomb. So I
Okay.
feel like when a lot of reviewers are pumping this quality, and I understand why they are, but for me, to the masses, overhyped, and not many are gonna like it, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Only
more.
Johnny Depp.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, it's just, I mean, that shit is potent.
Oh yeah.
It is. It screams.
Yeah,
What
it
else?
does. It does scream. It screams. Um, I think it's the Sauvage is pure garbage for me. I can't use Sauvage at all.
You
Like
know,
the
it's.
EDT,
Go
huh?
ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I
The
have my.
EDT for me, like my wife, she doesn't like the EDT or Elixir or Perfume. Like I tried it on myself and it doesn't agree on my skin, you know? It just changes moods on me. I don't know why. But I never got of buying the original EDT formulation, but I heard that Elixir was pretty good, especially on the dry down, but on the initial
Coffee.
spray, it's kind of like funky. I didn't like that, but it did. I put it on my skin, and the initial spray, I did not like it, but the dry down, brother, whoo,
Yeah,
nice
no,
and
I mean,
woodsy.
it has. It's more like if you like Middle Eastern fragrances, this is to me. It has it's more marketed for like a Middle Eastern.
Yeah,
It's to here. It's hit or miss. Like
yeah,
you said, dry down. It's very tough in that opening. I mean,
hmm,
I didn't realize like I went to like a Dillard's when it first was
hmm,
really. I pre-ordered it, but I tried it in the store. They had like a bottle out already, and I pumped one, two behind the neck, a couple on the shirt. I was blowing people out of the mall that I had to leave and go home and shower and change because my
oh
wife
no,
was like, "Damn, the one spray on your forearm was like nice." She's like, "But right now," she's like, her eyes were watering. She was
hmm,
sneezing, and so I was just like, "She's like, that stuff is really strong."
oh yeah,
And when it comes to even Sauvage, I mean, it's popular for a reason. It doesn't smell bad. For me, it's like all my buddies wore it, and it just was so flooded that, you know, to me, and I'm the same. Freshies and certain fragrances don't sit well on my skin, unfortunately. I'm
yeah,
very picky with blues
yeah,
and I love them, but I got to wear them on my clothes a lot. A lot of them go real funky on my skin. Like, I
hmm,
don't feel and blue smells bad. I think it's another overrated fragrance because I think it. I don't know. I just think it's like a basic bitch. It's just my.
yeah.
But it dries down on my skin. It smells like this is gonna sound gross, like dry spit. Like I smell
Ew.
like I'm like, what the fuck is like on my skin right now? But on clothes and stuff and in the air, it smells great. To other
Yeah,
people, it's a compliment machine. It's mass appealing. But yeah, I agree with you. Like certain blues,
yep,
hey, easy girl.
yep.
But
So I got another question that I just got from the chat. If you could create a fragrance for yourself, what would it smell like, and what would you name it?
oh, it's funny. I've been talking to a couple of perfumers about this. Like I used to, my oh man, I don't want to give away my secrets, but
Oh, don't
for a
don't
long
don't.
time, like I collected fragrance, but my signature scent actually wasn't even a fragrance for a while. Like I had a ton of bottles, but they sat on shelves. But I got it very into like oils, and
Hmm.
my favorite oil, and I still put it in a lot of my my fragrance free lotions and stuff. When I get out of the shower, stay hydrated or whatever, is Egyptian musk.
Mm,
Quite a few different types. This one's a little bit sweeter that I get and stuff like that. But that was my signature scent that every day, got out of the shower, my hairline, my neck, I just always smelled like Egyptian musk. So, and I've noticed that like it seems like not many fragrances have that as a note. So I've been kind of diving into it. So I'd like to do something off that kind of scent profile that it's
yeah,
something a little sweet, not too sweet, sexy, inviting. I like close encounter scents. I like
okay.
bringing people in. I'm more like, a sensual personality. So I
Yeah.
think fragrance would be like, it's not going to be beast mode. It's going to be a little sweet, alluring, in like, say, a tuxedo in the vein of that style of
Yeah.
scent, that it's like that sexy, sweet kind of smell. Not that it's going to smell like tuxedo. I don't want it to
Hmm.
smell, but
Hmm.
that type of scent profile is
Yeah.
where I would go as a first fragrance.
Mm.
You know,
And what will you name it?
oh man, I don't know yet. I definitely know I would want it to be like a either parfum or an extra. Maybe start like an eau de parfum concentration.
Hmm.
I always want it to be in that type of formulation. But somewhere a fox will be in it. I can't say off the top of my head.
All right, all
I have
right,
a
all right.
20 names in my head right now, but something
Hmm.
fox related that you would know it.
Hmm.
You know,
Absolutely. Yeah. I really do like the Egyptian musk, man. That was
it's
good.
so good.
And yeah, it's good. The one that if you like attractive fragrances like that, like Close Encounters, get yourself the Royal X. That one's good, man.
From Zaharoff,
Yep.
I have it. I had.
Oh, you have it?
There's one house that I have every offering, it's Zaharoff. I have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have all the Zads from A to Z. If you have Royal X, I was on the live that I was able to actually meet George on a live for the first time recently,
Yeah.
and I was layering for a while the rosé with
Okay.
Business Over Pleasure, which is a nice little because that powdery iris with the rose
Yeah.
works on my skin. Then I was doing it with the noir for a while. If you layer noir with the rosé, but if you spray a couple of sprays of rosé on your hand, let it die down a little bit, and spray Royal X on top of it, and let those two work together, it's
Yeah.
sex on a bed of roses. It's
Wow.
amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that thing was
Yeah.
killed the other day when I comboed that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and George mentioned it. He's like, "Have you layered those?" So he got all excited. So I was just
Mm.
like, "Man, he must be doing that." So
Hey, he must be doing it.
yeah,
Yep.
I
If he got
tried.
excited, that means that he's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, he was like, "Did you try that yet?" And that's what was my cue. I'm like, "No, but in 2 seconds I will be." But yeah,
Right now.
yeah, I did. I was on the live, kind of like with the bottles low,
Uh,
spraying hands.
okay.
Yeah, good combo if you have those two fragrances.
Okay. No, but I am gonna purchase those three bottles from Saharov, and I'm gonna start my collection with that. And the cheapy fragrances, I'm gonna throw those in Macari, but the rest, like the real nice, good quality ones, like Saharov, I'm gonna buy those and keep those for a very long time because I do like George Saharov's quality and their pricing is fantastic also. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean, some cheapies are not that bad. What is it? Boss. It's a white bottle. Hypnotize. I got it for
Mm.
$20. I think it.
Oh, nice.
That's really nice, and it's got that Elysium esque vibe. Maybe a little bit
Oh,
sweet, an Elysium style scent profile. That kind of gin and tonic kick.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
actually grab for that another one that I grab for often before I go do basic errands or go to the gym because
Yeah,
they die out kind of quick. But
yeah.
yeah, if you see, that's a damn good cheapie.
Mm, okay, cool. I think we're hitting 1 hour and a half mark.
What?
So I think I think it's time for us to say goodbye because I have another appointment to go to. Not another stream, but I have another appointment. I gotta get my bridge going on right now. So I'm thinking of going to the dentist today to get my bridge done.
Oh,
But
good luck with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's already done. They just need to like stick it in there and that's it. You
Oh,
know?
there we go. Quick and
Yeah.
easy. No drilling, nothing too painful.
No, 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 nothing painful at all. Just my wallet. But
Once again, I appreciate you inviting me on and being a part of the journey together and meeting
oh,
officially, not just liking photos and
yeah,
commenting. We
absolutely.
had a great conversation.
Yeah. It was great.
It was
If
fun.
you Yeah, absolutely. If you don't mind, you can stay here for a moment and we could say our proper goodbyes. I just want to say, everyone in the chat, I thank you. And there'll be more live streams like this with clean, honest, fun, and reviews. And I hope that everyone would like to do this for a minute and just say, spray on and we're out, and enjoy your weekend, guys.
Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're out. See ya. Bye bye.
Peace. Thank you.